college baseball game, and that's a really good Oklahoma State team. Bodendorf was fantastic, and every reliever they brought in was really good, which we expected. And Rob Walton's one of the great pitching coaches in the history of college baseball, and it's been an honor to compete against him for as long as I have. My time at DBU and in his time at Oklahoma State. I mean, he truly is great, and all those pitchers pitch like it. But that's a really good team, and I'm incredibly proud of the way that our guys competed and continue to just believe. And a special night.
Coach, it's now 26 come from behind wins, I think, and 6 walk-offs. You said it all year, but just how impressive is this team in the pressure-filled moments?
Well, they love baseball, and they love competing, and they're amazing teammates, and they love being together. And there are these moments as a coach late in the year where I think we haven't played since last Saturday or whatever, and yesterday I was walking down to breakfast, and we needed a good practice yesterday, and so you're racing through all the things in your mind and making sure the guys are locked in and they're having fun and they're focused, and walk to the breakfast room and it sounds like a stand-up club. I mean, they're just howling and laughing, and it's 9 in the morning. They truly love each other, and there's just a belief inside of our dugout that we can do it. So, I did tell them when it was 6-2 in the 7th, I said, guys, you know what we're going to do. I'd prefer we do something about it now instead of waiting until the 9th. And, there's just a looseness to them, and they're a special group, and no one more descriptive of that than Mike Kaczewski. You guys hit the nail on the head with some of the questions. That guy's been a regular, everyday guy since the minute we got here, and he's played a different role this year. And you talk about a leader, you talk about a guy that is selfless and is the epitome of what a great teammate should be. That's what it looks like. So, yeah, the 26 come from behind. That's a little much. I think, we can maybe got a few more gray hairs than I did in January. But, yeah, special group. Love these guys.
Coach, kind of branching off of that, obviously a little bit of a different environment here compared to Oakland, but where does a walk-off like this rank among the great moments of this season?
I'll have to answer that in August. I don't know. They're all amazing. Being inside the dugout for those is just it's an incredible experience to watch the joy they have competing. I do love walk-offs, and the guys love walk-offs, and I don't think I've ever been a part of one that hasn't been. I mean, we've done them all different ways this year, but I don't know where that ranks. I think the fact that it's on this stage is a big deal, but all the other ones have been huge wins. We're not in this position without all those other ones, so I don't know. They're all 1-1 in my brain.
Yeah. Coach, how you doing? Anwar Corey, College Baseball Weekly. I haven't been up to Lawrence to cover you guys this year, but, this is a historical season for you guys, a lot of wins. What went into fall ball? What went into, February after you guys got back that you just guys, put it together and said, we're going to execute and people are going to come to Lawrence for baseball, not just basketball and other things?
We need to get you up to Lawrence first.
I emailed you.
Phenomenal place. We were really intentional. We're just like everyone else in college baseball, we're really intentional about our recruiting, and I think there's the skill evaluation piece, but then there's also the character makeup, teammate side of it that we spend way more time on than just the baseball side. And so I think we knew in August when the guys showed up that there was a grit and toughness to these guys, but it was something that then had to really come together. And I think coaches get a lot of credit when players decide to the players are the ones that make this team. I mean, it's kind of like when you bring your little kids bowling and they put the bumpers up so they don't throw the gutter. I mean, I think there are parts to coaching where you're just putting up bumpers so that you keep them in the lane. And but you can see the guys up here and the stuff they're talking about and the way they're articulating who we are. It's been a very selfless group, and we've really boiled it down to there are two things that we really talk about. To be a Jayhawk, you have to be an unbelievable teammate. Not an average teammate, not a good teammate. You need to be an unbelievable teammate, and you need to play incredibly hard. And there are little trails of those things, and being a great teammate means you show up on time and you pick up your stuff and all that. But for the most part, we try to keep it simple, and these guys have taken it and run with it, and it's their team. I'm just incredibly blessed to coach them.
Right there.
Fitz, I know you guys have obviously played Oklahoma State 4 times this year. A big gap in between the last time you guys played in tonight. When you look at their team, could you maybe give your analysis of why they could be a projected or a team in the field of 64, and maybe why they should be included from your perspective?
I mean, it's pretty simple. That's one of the best 64 teams in the country, period. In an incredibly tough league. They've played a really tough schedule. And, they've got some incredible pieces for the postseason. Bodendorf is as good as anyone in this league. Watkins is really tough. Uri's a really tough look. Gabe Davis is as talented as anyone in the Big 12. I'm spacing on the name of the guy that started last night. Fantastic. Their lineup is super dangerous. I mean, you hold your breath. What was it, 6 lefties to start off the game, and then they throw Sylvester in there, who's a really good hitter, and then straight back to another lefty. So they're a dangerous postseason team. They're really well coached. Josh is a really good coach, and you want to talk about guys that buy in. He's been doing this a long time, and there's if you took the Cowboys or whatever off the front of that jersey, I could recognize an OSU team in 2 seconds because they're physical. They get their swing off. They have a great presence at the plate. They play discipline, and they've got some great athletes. So I don't think there's much of a question if they're a postseason team. To be really honest, that is a very, very dangerous postseason team.
In the back.
Coach, we talked about just the environment difference. Hoagland Ballpark, outside, no roof. Here, that's exactly what we have. How did that, affect your guys' game? How did you guys adapt with that?
Yeah, it's a little different than Oakland. I think that we have played in so many different environments this year, and our home situation has been bonkers awesome. Our crowds have been amazing. Our student section, I mean, I'm talking like it rivals anything it's the greatest environment I've ever been in for a college baseball game, and I've been in some pretty cool ones, and it's different. It's not as large in size as some of the other ones that I've been to, but the sheer volume of the student section directly above us, it is just a major boost. I mean, our first few home games, it was literally, I spent half the game trying to calm the guys down, and then we just got really used to it. So, new environment tonight, but I'm telling you, our guys love baseball. And if you look at how much, I think this is an interesting thing to look at, how much summer ball our guys have played. Hauge and Sawyer, these guys have played hundreds of games in the Northwoods League, and they are just looking, if a game broke out right now, they'd want to play. So I think whether it's here or back home or wherever we go, our guys they absolutely love it.
Looking just at this team, the kind of swings that they've put on these balls, tonight, throughout the season, just so much technicality going into these swings. Talk about just the ownership, the responsibility that these guys, put upon themselves, and does it take much to get them going?
Yeah, I think it's 2 parts. I think it's one, recruiting and getting the right, we try to get guys that can hit, obviously, and so there's not a whole lot of, hey, we're going to come in and completely overhaul it. At the same time, Coach Hancock does an unbelievable job with our hitters, and we talk about hitting as it's, you're driving from New York to California, and you can stay on the same road the whole time. You still have to steer. I guess with new cars you don't even have to steer, but theoretically you used to have to steer. And so that's what hitting is. It's where you're going, what the goal is, but you still have to make adjustments along the way. And so the technical piece of it is something that we work at every day, but you come to a point as a baseball player where your swing kind of is your swing and you own it, and you're your own coach, and the ball really tells you what's happening, and then ultimately you just get in that box and compete. And so I think we're always balancing that, recruit talent, develop it, but ultimately it's makeup and whether or not a guy's going to compete in the box, and these guys really do.
Anything else? One more, right in the front here. The last one.
Coach, you've been a little bit more reflective tonight than I think I've ever heard you. Does an environment like this help you kind of soak up what the season's been, how special it's been?
We'll throw it off. I don't know how to reflect. No, I'm thinking I'm not getting all emotional. I think there are moments in the season, just natural breaks in the season where you get done with the fall, you have to reflect. You get done with the individual session, and then kind of look back. And I think the regular season ending kind of is a time to look at it. And then I think wins like this, you just have to enjoy them. And so yeah, I don't know. I won't spend a whole lot of time on the details of it because I got to watch this next game and figure out who we're playing, and hope that they play about 25 innings tonight. And yeah, I'm incredibly proud of this team. There are guys on this team that have they've just sacrificed so much, and they've worked incredibly hard. TJ Williams bunt a 2-strike bunt in that situation, and then TJ. I mean, obviously they took a good look at it in the review, but TJ almost beat that out to make it bases loaded, nobody out. TJ Williams is a phenomenal baseball player. Mike Kazuski's a phenomenal baseball player, and I think it's moments like these where I sit back and think it's a blessing to coach guys like that because of how selfless they are. So yeah, probably a little bit more reflective, but I think this was a real special one.
Okay, thank you.